So we are starting with a windowing and viewporting. So let's see what is windowing and viewporting in computer graphics. Similarly, we are going to see what is clipping. So let's see what is windowing and viewporting. Before going to the concepts of windowing and viewporting, let's see what is window and what is viewport. So window means what? Area selected in word coordinate for display is called as window. It defines what is to be viewed. Now for example, in a real life, the window, we know what is a window. We see something from that window, right? So window is nothing but it will show you the real object or a real coordinate object. So the real object, we will, in this case, in the computer graphics, we will consider it as a word coordinate. Okay, so the real object, we will consider it as a world coordinate. So a window is nothing but area selected in world coordinate for display is called window, and it defines what is to be viewed. Now suppose in we have a house and a car in front of our window. In a real life, we have house and a car in front of window. So whatever we will be seeing that in the window, we will consider it as a real life object, and that real life object can be viewed from a window. So what is to be viewed is defined in a window. So remember, this window is nothing but area selected in world coordinate for display is called window, and it defines what is to be viewed. Now next concept is viewport. So now let's see what is viewport. So area on a display device in which window image is displayed is called viewport. Area on a display device in which window image is displayed is called viewport. It defines where to display. Now the viewport means, as we said, in the window we see the real life object, okay, that we consider it as a world coordinate. Now that world coordinate we have to show it on a device. So when we are considering it on a device, so that device will be your mobile or any of the screen, mobile screen or a computer screen. So when we are displaying something on a screen, we consider it as a display device, okay, or a display coordinate. So viewport is nothing but area on a display device in which window image is displayed. So our image, real life image, will be displayed on a viewport. So viewport will be a display device in which window image is displayed. So this is the window and viewport concept. Now see what is viewing transformation system. So the process of mapping a part of the world coordinate scene to device coordinate system is known as viewing transformation. So what we said, as we know what is window and what is viewport. So the process of mapping a part of world coordinate to a device coordinate. World coordinate means, as I said, it is a real life object. World coordinate means it is a real life object. So the viewing transformation means what? It is a mapping of world coordinate system to device coordinate. Device coordinate means our display screen. We called it as a viewport. So from windowing to viewport is called as viewing transformation. So the process of mapping a part of the world coordinate scene to device coordinate system is known as viewing transformation. So a world coordinate area selected for a display is called as a window, and an area on a display device to which window is mapped is called a viewport. So we have already seen what is window and what is viewport. So a world coordinate area selected for display is called as a window, and whereas area on a display device to which a window is mapped is called as a viewport. So just remember, window defines what is to be viewed and the viewport defines where is to be displayed. So as I said, if there is a car and a house in front of my window, then what we have to view is defined by a window, and where is to be displayed, that could be a screen or a display device. So where we will be displaying it, we will consider it as a viewport. So this is the concept of window and viewport. And the mapping of window to viewport is called as viewing transformation. So see, this is a diagram. It shows a figure of windowing and viewport. Now see, in the first diagram, check the first diagram. Now in the first diagram, see the first diagram. In the first diagram, there is a window. Okay. Now the object is displayed in the window. We will consider it as a world coordinate. Now world coordinate means our real coordinate, means real object coordinate. So one window is considered, in that the real coordinate is displayed. Now when we are viewing the object, the only object which is in the window that we will be seeing, that we will consider it as a viewport. Now see, here is one object in the left side of the diagram. I will consider this image as 1 and this image as 2. Now see the first image. In the first image there is one object. See, this is the object. Okay. Now this is the object and there is a window is also specified. Now if we see the real life object, we will consider it as a world coordinate. Okay. Now when we have a window and when we are viewing this in a display device, okay, when we are viewing it in a display device, the only part in the window will be visible. The only part in the window will be visible. Now see the second diagram. See, there is a window and only the part which is visible is in the window. So the whatever the part is there in the window, that is displayed in a viewport. So window it will be giving a real world coordinate, and that when you are using a display device, that we call it as a display coordinate. So when we are seeing with the help of device coordinate, then it will display only part which is present in the window. So see the triangle. Now the only part which is present in the window, that is displayed in the viewport. So this is the concept of windowing and viewport. Now see the diagram. In the windowing, all the object it is visible, but when you see it, when you go to display it in a display device, then only part which is present in the window, that only visible, rest all part is invisible. So in the viewport, it defines what is to be displayed and where is to be displayed. So what is to be displayed is defined in the window, and where is to be displayed, it is defined in a viewport. So in the viewport, it defines only the window part, only the window portion will be visible and rest all part is invisible. So this is the concept of windowing and viewport. Now we will see the another example. Now see, this is the other image. Now in this image, see, let's see, say there are two images. Okay, so I will refer this as 1 and this I will refer this as 2. Now in the first image, see, in the first image there is a whole real life image. Okay, the whole image is displayed in the first window, that is the world coordinate. World coordinate means real life image. So the whole image is displayed in a world coordinate, and if you see in the viewport, only the image from the window is visible. The window, whatever the image is present in the window, that is visible in the viewport. Now we will assign some value, that is, let's say this is x max, x window max, we call it as xw max. This is xw mean, whereas this is yw mean and yw max. Means y axis window maximum, this is this means y axis having window max, then y axis window minimum, similarly x axis window minimum and x axis window maximum. We had just put a maximum and minimum value to the window. Okay, now the image is displayed in a window, and when we are viewing it, the only object which is visible in the window, that will be displayed, rest of the part is deleted. That means it is invisible. So this is the concept of window and viewport. So we are seeing the next part, that is clipping. So let's see what is clipping now. The technique of hiding that part of the drawing one is not interested in is called as clipping. See the definition: technique of hiding that part of the drawing one is not interested in is called as clipping. Now see the diagrams which is shown. Okay, now in the first diagram, see the first diagram. Let's say this is the first diagram and this is the second diagram. Now in the first diagram the original picture is shown. Now it is shown in the form of lines. So see the lines. Okay, some lines are inside the window, whereas some lines are partially outside the window. Okay, some lines are inside the window and some lines are partially outside the window. When you are using the concept of clipping, those portion which is inside the window will only remain, rest of the portion will be deleted or it will be hidden. So the portion, see the line, so the portion which is in the window, that will be visible, and the portion which is outside the window, it will be deleted. So this process is called as clipping. So see the line which is outside the window, some portion of the line which is outside the window, that will be deleted. So the portion which is outside the window, that will be deleted. Whereas the portion which is inside the window, it will remain same and that will be displayed in the window. So see there is two figures, before clipping and after clipping. So if you see the window before clipping, everything is displayed, whereas the window after clipping, in that part only the portion which is visible in the window, that is displayed. So this is what a clipping is. Now let's see types of lines. So there are three types of lines: visible line, invisible line and clip line. So there are three types of lines: visible line, invisible line and clipped line. So visible lines means what? A line or lines entirely inside the window is considered as a visible line. So those lines which are entirely in the window, inside the window, we will consider it as a visible line. Next we have invisible line. Invisible line means a line entirely outside the window is considered as invisible line. And a clip line means what? Some lines are partially inside and some portion of the line is partially outside. So whatever the portion is partially outside, we want to clip it. So this is called as clipped lines. So see there are some cases given. So in the case 1, see the case 1. So now in the case 1, all the lines are inside the window. So if all the lines are inside the window, it is called as visible lines. Now see case 2, all the lines are outside the window. So if all the lines are outside the window, then it is called as invisible lines. Similarly, see the case 3. Now in the case 3, some portion of the line is outside the window, whereas some portion of the line is inside the window. So in this figure, P1, P2 are the points of intersection. The line P2 to A dash and P1 to B dash are discarded or it is clipped. So suppose if this is my window and in that window, if this is my line, okay, and suppose it has a point A and B, then we have to find the intersection point. So intersection point will be this, okay. I will consider it as a P dash, okay, let's say P dash. So P dash to B will be discarded. P dash to B will be discarded because it is outside of the window, and A to P dash will be kept. A to P dash line will be kept. So if such is the line which is partially inside and partially outside, then first you need to find the intersection point and then you have to clip the portion which is outside the window. So here in this case, if you consider this, then P dash B will be clipped because it is outside the window. So similarly case 3 we had applied. Now see the case 4. In the case 4 there is mixed lines. There are 3 lines. One line is outside the window, one line is inside the window and one line is partially inside but partially outside the window. Now tell me in this case which line we have to keep and which line we have to discard. That means which line we have to clip it out. So in the case for line EF, see the line EF is totally outside the window. See, in case for this EF line is totally outside the window, hence it will be discarded. It will be invisible because it is outside the window. Now see C and D line. CD line is completely inside the window, so it is visible, and line AB is partially inside, partially outside. Now in this case, what we have to do? So in case 4, first we will find out the intersection point P, then the line AP we will keep it, and the line PB we will discard it because it is outside the window. So this is the simple way of clipping the line. So I will just summarize. If the line is inside the window, we will keep it. If the line is totally outside the window, we will discard it. If the line is partially inside and partially outside, then first we need to find out the intersection point, and on that intersection point we will check which line is inside the window, which line is outside the window, and on that cases we will discard the lines which is outside the window. So this is the simple concept of clipping. So now see, this is one diagram shown. Okay, now in this diagram, see, the window is given. Okay, and in the window there are some notations are marked. See, it is right, left, bottom and top. Right, left, bottom and top. Now if we are considering the x-axis, okay, if we are considering the x-axis, then x left and x right. Okay, x left and x right. And if we are considering the y-axis, then there will be y top and y bottom. Okay, so if we are considering the x-axis, there will be x left and x right. If we are considering the y-axis, there will be y top and y bottom. So see, in the figure there has been noted right, left, bottom and top according to x and y axis. So with the help of right, left, bottom, top, now we will see which line we have to keep and which line we have to discard. So see the diagram properly. In the diagram, some lines are inside the window, some lines are completely outside the window, whereas some lines are partially inside and partially outside the window. So see the diagram carefully. So we know what will be the clipping. Okay. Now in this clipping window, we have already seen instead of left and right, there is given mean max, and instead of top and bottom, we had seen mean and max. So y max, y mean we have seen x mean and x max. So that window we will calling it as a clipping window, or you can consider right, left, top, bottom. So this window is also called as a clipping window. Now in this case of window, okay, see, suppose this is my window. Okay, this is the window. Now in this window, let's assign max and mean values. So this will be my x mean. Okay, left side will be my x mean, whereas my right side will be x max. Whereas my left side means y axis, if we consider, then my bottom side will be y mean, and my top side will be y max. Okay, just we had assigned mean and max values. So my left side will be x mean, right side will be x max, whereas my bottom side will be y mean and my top side will be y max. We had just assigned the maximum and minimum values. So now in this case, now see this diagram and tell me when will be the top is called. When will be the top is called? So top will be called called when y is greater than y max. Top will be called when y is greater than y max. Okay. If it is above the y max, then we will consider it as a top. And when bottom will be called when y is less than y mean. So if y is less than y mean, we will call it as a bottom. Similarly, for right side, when right side will be called when x is greater than x max. Similarly, when left side will be called, see, top side is called when y is greater than y max. Similarly, bottom is called when y is less than y mean. Right side is called when x is greater than x max, and left side is called, yes, left side is called when x is less than x mean. X is less than x mean. So remember, this is very important step. Okay, remember this. This is very important. Top, bottom, right and left. So we had calculated the values of top, bottom, right and left side. So top is when there is y is greater than y max. Y is greater than y max means this portion. Okay. Then bottom means when it is this portion. Y is less than y mean. Right side is back x is greater than x max. So it will be this portion. And left side x is less than x mean, so it will be this portion. So this is the top, bottom, right and left. Accordingly, we will check now how the lines will be. So we have a simple visibility algorithm. Okay, we have a simple visibility algorithm for this case. Now see, this is the simple visibility algorithm. Now, this is the simple visibility algorithm. In this, see, A and B are the endpoints of the line with component x and y. Now, for each line, visibility is equal to true we have set. Now, check for total invisibility lines. So, invisible lines we have to check. Now, if both endpoints are left, right, above or below the window, the lines is trivially invisible. So, see, now in this case, there are certain conditions are given. Okay, these conditions are given. Now, if visibility is equal to true, if the visibility is true, then the line is completely visible. And if the visibility is means it is not visible, if the lines are not visible, that is invisible, then we will consider it as a false. It means those lines which are visible, we will consider it as a true, and those lines which are not visible, completely not visible, we will consider it as a false. So now this is the algorithm. We call it as a simple visibility algorithm. So now in this case, one line is given. Okay, one line is given having endpoints A and B, with components x and y, with coordinates x and y. Okay, so this is the line AB having components x and y. Now check the first condition for invisible line. Okay, see the first condition now. If xa is less than xl and xb is less than xl, so now tell me line, where will be that line? So xa is less than xl, xa is less than xl. So if it is less than xl, then it will be in this side. Okay, this will be my xa, it will be somewhere here. Similarly, my xb will be less than xl. So if xb is also less than xl, it will be here somewhere. So the line will be on the left side. So window will be in the line will not be in the window. So visibility will be false. So the visibility is false. So if the line XA is greater than XR and XB is greater than XR, that means the line will be somewhere here, that is outside the window. So visibility is considered as false. Now check for another line. YA is greater than YT and YB is greater than YT. So YA point is now greater than top. So it is greater than top means it will be somewhere here. Okay, see the line IJ. It is above the top. So YA is greater than YT and YB is also greater than YT. That means it will be line IJ. So IJ line is outside the window. It is not inside the window. So we have to clip that line. So the visibility will be false. If the line is completely inside, then visibility will be true. If the line is completely outside, then visibility will be false. Now similarly, there is the next condition YA less than YB and YB less than YB. So now see, capital B stands for bottom. Okay. So now YA is less than YB. So YA is less than YB means it is less than Y mean. Okay. But for the bottom, we called it as a Y mean. Okay. So now tell me if YA is less than Y mean, so it will be below. Okay. Line will be below here somewhere. Okay. And if YB is also less than Y mean, means both the points A and B are below bottom. So it will be here somewhere. That means my line is completely outside the window. So visibility we have set it as false. Okay. Now see the next point of algorithm. If visibility is less than greater than false, then avoid totally visible calculation. Means if the visibility is false, we have to avoid that lines. Okay. Now check if the line is totally visible. Now those lines which are totally visible, we have to consider that lines. Next is if any coordinate of either endpoint is outside the window, then line is not totally visible. Now see what does this line says. If some part is inside the window and some part is outside the window. So if this is the case where some point is inside the window and some point is outside the window, then we will say that the line is totally not visible. If if there is a line, okay, now consider this line CD. So if we consider this line CD, some point is inside the window and some portion is outside the window, then in that case we cannot say the line is totally visible, right? We cannot say the line is totally visible. What we will say, the line is partially visible and the line is partially invisible. So here if any coordinate of either point is outside the window, then the line is totally visible. So this is the simple visibility algorithm. Now the next portion of the algorithm is C. Now in the next portion we are seeing for a partial lines. Okay. Now we had already seen for the visible lines. If the line is totally visible, then we will say true. If the line is totally invisible, we will say false. Now we will see the visibility for partial lines. Okay. In the last point what we had said, if the line is totally visible, if the line is totally visible, then we will say true. If the line is totally invisible, okay, if the line is totally visible, we said we will consider it as a true. If the line is totally invisible, okay, if the line is totally invisible, then we will say false. Now we will go for a partial. Okay, now we go for a partial lines. Now in the partial lines, see the first point for the partial lines. If XA is less than XL or XA is greater than XR. Now tell me where it will be the line. See, XA is less than XL and XA is greater than XR. See the first point of the line. XA is less than XL, XA is less than XL or XA is greater than XR. As we say, we have some line AB. Now we have to see where is that line. So if we see that, then XA is less than XL. Okay, it is less than XL. That means it will be somewhere here. And XA is greater than XR. XA is greater than XR. So if XA is greater than XR, that means it will be above the window. It will be somewhere here. So the line is partially inside and partially outside. So visibility will be partial. Now check for another line. Okay, now we will check for the next lines. Now see the next line, xb is less than xl and xb is greater than xr. So if we check for the second line, see the line, that line is partially visible and that line is partially invisible. So check this line, xb is less than xl or xb is greater than xr. So greater than xr means inside the window, okay, above the x-axis. Greater than means above the x-axis, or if it is greater than y, then it means right side of the y-axis. So the line xb is less than xl or xb is greater than xr. So that means my line xb is less than xl, so it will be somewhere here, and xb is greater than xr, so it will be somewhere here. So the line is partially invisible, partially visible, so the status of visibility will be partial. Similarly, for the next line, ya is less than yb or ya is greater than yb. So if ya is less than yb, so it will be somewhere here, okay, and ya is greater than yt. So if ya is greater than yt means it will be inside the window. So the visibility will be partial. Next we have yb or less than yb or yb is greater than yt. So it is only consider this part, or it will be considering the this part, okay. So yb, if it is less than bottom or yb is greater than yt, okay, then the visibility will be partial. See, I will repeat this step again. If xa is less than xl or xa is greater than xr, if this point or this point, then line visibility will be partial. Similarly, if xb is less than xl or xb is greater than xr, greater than xr means point will be inside, so the visibility will be partial. Or if ya is less than yb or ya is greater than yt, then also visibility will be partial. So similarly, these cases are for visibility is equal to partial. So if visibility is equal to partial, what we have to do? The line is partially visible or diagonally crosses a corner invisibly. Determine the intersection. Okay, we have to now determine the intersection. As I have already told you, if this is my window and if this is the line, then we have to determine the intersection of that line. So if the line is partial, then we will calculate the intersection. Okay, and if the line is true, that means visibility is true, then the line is totally visible. Okay, else line is invisible. So this is my algorithm of simple visibility algorithm. We have seen the three cases. For visibility, it will be true. For invisibility, it will be false. And if the line is partial, then we have to find out the intersection point. So now next we will be seeing endpoint codes. So now we have to assign every part a code. So now suppose this is my diagram. Let's say this is my diagram and the middle portion is my window. Okay. Now my middle portion is my window. So if this is my window, then my coordinates of the window will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Now see, this means what? Let's assign the value. Suppose this is the left, this is right, this is bottom, this is top. Okay, now with this top, bottom, left, right, we have to assign a code. Now see, I will write here T, B, R and L. Now with this help, we will be assigning code. So see, consider this, okay, consider the first pixel, okay, means first block. Now tell me, in this block suppose I will write here TBRL. Now tell me if this block is at top. If this block is at top, then assign 1. Is this block at bottom? No. So assign 0. Now is this block is at right? No. So assign 0. This block is at left? Yes. So assign 1. So this is the code for a first block. Now go for a second block. See this block. Okay, consider this block. Now in this block, what will be my code? Does this block it as top? Yes, it is at the top side. So my code will be 1 first. Then whether it is at bottom? No. So it will be 0. Whether it is at right side? No. So 0. Whether it is at left side? No. So it will be 0. So this is the block for next block. Now check for a third block. So see the third block. What will be the code for the third block? Now see whether the third block it is at top. Yes, so my value will be 1. Whether it is bottom? No. Whether it is at the right side? Yes. Whether it is at the left side? No. So it will be 0. Again go for this block. Next block. Whether this block is at top? No, it is in the middle. So my top value will be 0. Then see whether it is at the bottom. No, it is not at the bottom because it is in the middle. So my value will be 0. Now see whether it is in the right side. No, it is in the left side. So my right value will be 0. And as it is in the left side, my value will be 1. So this is the code for my next block. Then the right side block, consider the right side block. Now in the window, okay, the middle portion. Now the middle block, as it is not in the top, it is not in the bottom, it is not in the left side, neither in the right side, it is in the middle. So all values will be 0. Now see the right side block. See, consider this block. Now tell me, in this block, my code will be, check for this code. It is in the top side? No. So value will be 0. It is in the bottom side? No. So value is 0. It is in the right side? Yes. So value is 1. It is in the left side? No. So value is 0. Again go for the last block, last row. So the code for this will be 0, 1, 0, 1. Now again in the middle block, whether it is in the top side? No. So 0. Whether it is in the bottom? Yes. So it will be 1. Neither it is left, neither nor it is right. So the values will be 0, 0. Now the right side block remaining, the code for that will be, see the code is, now it is in the top side? No. It is in the bottom side? Yes. It is in the right side? Yes. It is in the left side? No. So 0. So this is the code for my every block. Now with the help of this code, we will check which line is inside the window, which line is outside the window. Now there is some notations. Okay, no, notations means what? There are some calculations. The calculation is, if suppose the value is 1 and 0, the value is 1 and 0, then the addition of it will be 0. Means 1 0 will be 0. Okay, 1 0 will be 0. Wait, I will write it properly. So 1 0 will be 0. 0 1 will be also 0. 0 0 will be 0, whereas 1 1 will be 1. So this is very important part you have to remember. 1 0 will be 0, 0 1 will be 0, 0 0 will be 0, and 1 1 will be 1. So this is the very important part which you have to remember. Now we will take one example. Okay, now we will take one example. Suppose this is my line. Okay, this is my line I and j. Now see the code of I and j and tell me, does this line is invisible or visible or partially visible? Now if we see the code of line is, yes, code of line ij is The code of line ij is 0, 0, 0 and 1. As it is not all 0, so the line is, yes, so the line is invisible. So the line is invisible. As the code of point I is also 001 and the code of point J is also 001, so it is line is invisible. Now if the line is this and it has naming P and Q, okay, now see the line P and Q. So the point P code is also 000, whereas point Q code is also 000. So the answer will be 000. That means my line PQ is inside the window. As the answer is 000, so the line is inside the window. Now let's consider this as my line. Okay, suppose this is my line having M and N as my points. So if my points is M and N, now tell me for the point M and N. See the point M code is, yes, point M code is 0, 0, 1, 0, and the point N code is also 0, 0, 1, 0. So the output is 0, 1, 1 is 1, 0, 0 is 0, 0, 0. The output is same. So this line is completely outside the window. If two points have same code and it is not all 0, then the line is completely outside the window. And if two points have same code and the output is also 0, 0, 0, that means all zeros, then the line is inside the window. Okay. Now let's consider the next line. Suppose if my line is like this, if this is my line having naming cluster A and B. Now tell me for the line AB, the point for A is, yes, my point for A is 0, 0, 0, 0, and my point for B is 0, 0, 1, 0. Now these 2 points are different, right? A point is different, B point is different. These 2 points are different. So now I need to find the intersection of A and B. Now I need to find intersection of line AB. So if you check the output, now the output will be 0, 0, 0, because some line is inside, but we know these 2 points are different, A and B. A and B are different. So what we will be doing, we will find the intersection of line. So intersection of line we will calculate. So I call it as P dash. So if P dash is my intersection, okay, P dash is my intersection, then consider the point P dash and A. So if we see A having point 0, 0, 0, whereas P dash is also having point 0, 0, 0 as it is on the window. So my answer will be 0, 0, 0, that is all zeros. So the line A to P dash will be inside the window. Now if we check for the outside the window, so outside the window, now P dash and B will be outside the window. So the intersection point P dash, if we consider for the right side, then it will be outside the window. So this is how we need to find out the intersection. So we have some formula for calculating the intersection. Okay, we have some formula for calculating the intersection. Now let's see what is that formula. So now let's see how to calculate the intersection points. For the, if suppose this is my point P1 having x1 y1 as my coordinates, and I have a point P2 having x2 y2 as my coordinates. I have P1 and P2 having x1 y1 and x2 y2. Now the equation of line, we know there are multiple equations of line. So for the y is equal to m x minus x1 plus y1. This is one equation. Or you can use y is equal to m x minus x2 plus y2. So these are the equations of line, where we know m is the slope of the line. M is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is the equation. Now what we have to do is the intersection with the window edges. Okay, so the intersection with the window edges we need to find. So which is already been given. So intersection with the window edges. Suppose my window is at left side. Okay, window is at my left side. So we will say xl comma y. So the intersection for this line will be m into bracket xl minus x1 plus y1. Okay, so this is for left. Then for right, my intersection points will be xr comma y. So the equation for this will be m into xr minus x1 plus y1. Now similarly for top, my points will be yt, okay, yt comma x. So my formula for this will be x1 plus 1 upon slope, that is m, and yt minus y1. Similarly for my bottom, the points will be yb comma x. So the formula will be x1 plus 1 upon m yb minus y1. So this will be the formula for calculating left, right, top and bottom. If you want, please screenshot this. These are the formulas which we will be using. Now let's take one example. Okay, let's take one example having P1. So the P1 is 3 by 2 comma 1 by 6, whereas P2 is 1 by 2 comma 3 by 2. So these are the points which is already given. Okay, now we have to calculate the slope. So first, to calculate the slope, we have to find out the points. Okay, so the points will be, if it is left side, okay, if it is left side, then the value of x will be minus 1. Then the value of x will be minus 1. If it is right side, then the value of x will be plus 1. If it is at the top, then the value of y will be 1, and if it is at the bottom, then the value of y will be minus 1. So with the help of this code, okay, we will find out the slope of line M. So as we all know, the equation of slope is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So put the values of y2, y1, x2, x1 into that slope. Now tell me what will be my M. So see y2 minus y1. Now in this case, what is the answer of y2? Yes, what is the value of y2 in this case? See the points P1 having x1, y1 and P2 having x2, y2. So the value of y2 is 3 by 2. So see, I am writing here 3 by 2 minus y1. Y1 is 1 by 6 divided by x2 minus x1. So my x2 is, in this case, my x2 is 1 by 2. And see the value of x1. Now my x1 value is 3 by 2. So as we are using the left side, so the value will be minus 1. So see the above codes which I have written, left, if it is left, x will be -1. If it is right, x will be 1. Similarly, top and bottom. So I will write here my value of x is, so the answer of slope will be 2 by 3. So now I have got the slope m. M I have got, that is 2 by 3. Now similarly, we will calculate all left side, right side, top side and bottom side using this formula. Using this formula, we will calculate left, right, top and bottom. So one by one, we will see the left, right and top and bottom. So my slope is 2 by 3. Just remember, my slope is 2 by 3. I've already got the slope 2 by 3. Let's say I have got the slope. My m is 2 by 3. Now see for the left side. Okay, see the left side. Now if we consider the left side, we know for this purpose x is -1. Now we have to calculate the left side point. So in the left side point, just write the formulas, just write the points with the help of formula. So see, this is the formula. So m I have got, it is 2 by 3. Then xl. So in this case, xl means it is -1. See the right side value. Okay, I have written here. See this. So xl is now -1 minus x1. So minus x1 will be the value. Okay, what is the value of x1? So the value of x1 is 3 by 2. As we are taking x as -1, so the value will be -3 by 2. So it will be -3 by 2 plus y1. So y1 is 1 plus 6, 1 by 6. So this is the formula. With the help of formula, we will get the answer. So we have got x left. Okay, we have got this answer as 1 by 2. We got the answer 1 by 2. Similarly, calculate for right side. Now tell me, for right side, x value of x is, yes, for right side value of x is, see, the value of x for the right side is 1. So put the values same here. So the slope is 2 by 3. Now x right, the value is 1. So 1 minus 3 by 2 plus 1 by 6. So the value of this will be 11 by 6. So the answer is 11 by 6. Okay, similarly now calculate top and bottom. So similarly calculate the values of top and bottom. Similarly, we will find out the values of top and bottom. So in this case, I got top as -1 by 4, whereas I got bottom as -3 by 2. I have got this values. So the figure, our figure is, I will draw here. Suppose this is my window, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, and the point is passing from P1 to P2. This is my one of the line P1 P2. Okay, this is my P1 P2, and the points for this is, suppose this side is -1 1. Okay, as it is left side and bottom side. Then for right side and bottom side it is 1 comma -1. For upper side it is 1 -1 comma 1, and this side will be 1 1. Okay, now what we are doing, we need to find the intersection of line P1 and P2. So with the formula, we have already calculated the left, right, top and bottom. So with this help, we will be plotting the points. Okay, and once we have done with the plotting of point, we will get the answer of P1 dash and P2 dash, and that will be the intersection points. This will be the intersection point. So we have already got this point. See, we have got the bottom, we have got the left side, then we have got the right side, and we have got the top side. Okay, these four values we have already got. So these are the value of my new P1 dash and P2 dash. that is my intersection point P1 dash and P2 dash. So this is the formula for calculating the intersection points. Now for homework you need to calculate the values of P3 and P4, where the points for P3 and P4 are, so the points for P3 is -3/2 and -1, whereas the P4 is 3/2 and 2. So calculate the intersection points of this with the help of this formula, these two formulas, and find the answer of left, right, and top and bottom. And in the next session, we will see Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm, which is based on this part only. Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm we will be seeing in the next session.